Okay, so let's talk international news. This is the situation unfolding around the world that people should be most concerned about. In Europe, Putin continues his assault on the Ukraine despite his appeal to Israel to cease hostilities, which outline the basic fact that, by his own words to Israel, he himself understands the errors that he has made, enough so to advise another country by pointing out their similar decisions that have led them both into the position they are in. Despite this fact, he continues his assault on the Ukraine. The current situation has projection analysts stating that an intercontinental conflict is unavoidably certain by the end of this year. The statistics are this at the moment. Due to the consistent conflicts the U.S. has been in since Desert Storm in 1998, and the corrupt accusations of the US government's intent, the war on terror and all that followed. The US military overall troop morale and strength as an army as a whole has been weakened and exhausted. It cannot be said with confidence that the US would be capable of entering a foreign world conflict and be certain to stand strong. Too many factors have been working against the US military's favor. At current, the defensive and offensive players unfold like this. Russia and China seem to have a covert partnership, as it has been observed that when Russian assets play their tactical approach, China's naval and military forces seem to follow and shuffle in step with their strategy. This shows us that whatever military weaknesses might emerge as Russia continues its intentions to expand the conflict beyond the Ukraine, then China will provide military assistance and take a role as reinforcement to Russian forces in need. Putin has proclaimed Russia as the natural and necessary enemy of the United Nations and NATO forces. However, even with all the allied NATO forces when compared to the military might of China and Russia and their strategic advantage of vast territorial space, large enough to spread their forces into small ballistic patches scattered throughout the majority of the continental Europe's landmass, that would make NATO forces ineffective in being successful in a strike that could stop the combined barrage of both forces together and hidden throughout their lands. They have not the combined military force required to successfully stop them. If the US were capable of providing their militaries full support, then they might have a chance at stopping them. The combined forces of NATO and the US would be sufficient enough to counter this threat, but the US, as it stands with both military strain on their soldiers from the seemingly never-ending conflicts along with the domestic issues that have overwhelmed their political and public infrastructure, along with the issue of the Mexican, South American migration that lingers on the edge of whether it is an invasion and occupation or whether it is a massive flow of refugees seeking asylum from an ever-growing criminal syndicate that has become a threat to most of South America, with illegal frack mining that is destabilizing the volcanic regions throughout the area. All this has effectively removed their US from being able to efficiently be capable of supporting any foreign affairs, as all military forces must focus on a domestic issue within its own borders. All this has led strategists to predict that to open global conflict, World War III, is set to unavoidably occur by the end of the year. And this Epstein case that has resurfaced is starting to make sense now, compromising the US infrastructure even further. That year prediction just shortened to weeks and months. America. This is your personal public freelance intelligence operative/criminal that decided to work for you instead of them telling you to keep your firearms close and you focus clear. This is not a time for paranoia or assumptions. See the truth, but don't stand by any final decisions unless you're sure. War is on their horizon and coming to our homeland. We are many, we are anonymous, and we will never be silent. Expect